serverless and managed service in general provided by AWS.
Yeah, totally.
One particular service that really I loved, I want to say, is Control Tower, that basically set up a whole landing zone. And especially when you work with enterprise companies, this service enables you to set up the whole landing zone and managing cross accounts, security, centralized login, and all of this stuff, and really, really cool services that in just less than 2 hours you can set up, let's say, all of these accounts, and everything is well managed and well architected and is centralized in just one place.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you there. I think especially for consulting partners, you know, when you're going into maybe a customer who when you're going into a customer and maybe they don't have much of an AWS footprint yet, it's a great opportunity to just go in and, like you said, it's how many buttons do you have to click to create a control tower? It's not very many. It's like click control tower and fill out like some email addresses, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when I experienced it, Control Tower with one of the biggest or customers, with one of finance, let's say, customers. So basically wanted just to create like a whole landing zone, but you know, to create the whole landing zone, if you want to do it like custom landing zone, you probably will take like 3 months or more than 3 months to automate all of this blueprint and to well architect and well design the whole solution. But when it comes to Control Tower, when I experienced it in just 2 clicks, you just put 2 email address, and in less than 2 hours, so basically you have 3 basic accounts that one of them cover centralized login. All the logs are collected by cross region and cross accounts to just one place. And also from security point of view, you have all the alerts and you can check if the services or features are compliant or non-compliant. So security team can take over of this in just one place. And it's pretty amazing, I think, just to create all of this solution. But so I mean, the whole landing zone of that is part of Control Tower offer really a lot of new features and services that are part of these groups. So it's really, really amazing.
Yeah, totally. I love that you pointed out the logging account there. I know for me, like when I'm developing an application, I just want to build something, right? You know, I want to build the thing that like actually processes the data or does whatever job or functionality that we want to have. And sometimes the security logging and stuff like that is kind of an afterthought, right? Like it's maybe because it's not that interesting unless things go wrong. You know, hopefully you don't really. Obviously you want to analyze those logs, but hopefully they're just there for, you know, kind of backup and stuff like that. And you want to just go and you want to build your actual application. But that's the great thing about Control Tower is you fill out those 2 email addresses, you click the button, and it's already set up. All of the CloudTrail logs for both those new accounts, the first initial ones, but then also you're able to create additional accounts underneath of that landing zone.
Yeah, definitely. So through the service catalog that is part of landing zone or part of Control Tower, so basically you can set up a new AWS account using the blueprint or using the template that are part of this. And something really nice that you can also apply in service catalog is the budget. So you can specify not only the permission of the people who is going to set up this new account, but also the budget, the portfolio, how much, let's say, it will be the price for this account, especially for sandbox accounts and developer accounts. When you want to put the limitation, it's really, really good. You know, something is like you have a banking card, and if you don't have limitation, if someone is stealing your banking account, so you don't have this kind of limitation, so the people are going to steal everything. It's the same with service catalog. So you put like the limitation, you give these accounts to developer, and they can develop on top of this account everything based on this limitation. But this is optional. I think you can also put off or put on based on your needs and your requirements.
Totally. That every time I think of developer or sandbox accounts. I think back to a time where I wanted to make my own like cloud-based gaming computer. So I used some of our GPU, some of the larger GPU instances on AWS. And my plan was to just, use it for just an hour or two, just to see what like the gaming experience was like. But I forgot to turn it off at the end of the day. And, the hourly pricing for, 1 or 2 hours was not too bad. But when you leave it up for, 72 hours, very quickly that little accident, that little I just didn't click stop on the instance, all of a sudden became quite pricey for me. And so I think that's a great call out there, is adding those, the budget, so that you're aware of those types of things and make sure that you are, not overspending on something that is just, it's a sandbox, right? You're just experimenting.
Yeah, exactly. And some limitation and some control check definitely can help you to not go over the limitation that you had. But this is only for sandbox. I mean, you can't apply this in production.
No.
Because otherwise production will stop immediately if the budget of it is going over. So yeah, but definitely. So I mean, service catalog, it's a really cool service when you can apply new account in just 1 minute. But it's not only to set up a new account, but all the baseline with security policy that is applied to this new account. And this is pretty cool. That means that this new account, all the services and the features that are part of this account are compliant with your security, and you know that you are getting the logs automatically to centralized login. Also, you are notifying if the services are compliant or not compliant from in security team. So it's all automated, and it's all let's say part of landing zone. So if you have to do it manually, probably will take like month and month to automate all of these pipeline and blueprints. So it's really pretty amazing, these services that Control Tower and a whole landing zone offers to set up.
Yeah, I'm curious. So before we had like the Control Tower product, we did have Landing Zone as like a CloudFormation. Did you get a chance to play around with that when it was first released?
No, I didn't experience this. However, in one of my previous, let's say, project, I created the custom landing zones, and I automated everything using CloudFormation. Also with Terraform. That is another service to create a whole infrastructure. And it took me really month and month to build all of this, to set up all of this landing zone, and to create the permission cross accounts, to collect the logs cross accounts and cross regions, also to put the security in place and to make sure using AWS config if the services are compliant or non-compliant. So I mean, definitely you can do custom landing zone, but it will take you a lot of time to do it. So I would say, however, Control Tower is a really nice service. It's a little bit not mature, as right now it doesn't support API. So for developer or cloud architect, it will be really useful if there is API in place, so they can automate it, even Control Tower as well. So not only set up it manually from AWS console, but also calling this API. And I was hoping from a re:Event as well, it will be like a single API when you can just delete an AWS account and create an AWS account.
Yeah.
But still, I'm just waiting for this news.
Fingers crossed on that, because I think that would be a really good. I think that would be a great addition for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We'll have to, when we get off of this call, see if there's any product feature requests open for that. I'm sure there probably is, but we'll have to go and +1 that and say that we, people are asking for it.
I was hoping following the NDJS announcement, but nothing about, let's say, landing zone, or nothing about governance in general.
Yeah.
So let's hope in this week something will come up.
Right. We have one more keynote this week. So tomorrow we've got Warner Vogel's coming up. But then, we also are releasing things not during reInvent as well. So who knows? Maybe if it's not this week, maybe something comes up in the future. I think that would be a really good feature enhancement. So on that note, at reInvent, was there anything that you did see that kind of just stood out to you that was interesting?
I saw, I watched already the NDJS keynote and some of the session in following week.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff. It was like 1 hour and 40 minutes only machine learning stuff.
Yeah.
So it really impressed me. A lot of new services and feature about machine learning, especially for industrial part of machine learning. I will highlight some of them that really impressed me a lot. It was one new service, Amazon Monitor. So basically, this kind of service is like end-to-end monitoring service that can be applied to manufacturing or industrial, and can monitor all the features and physicals or the process in the manufacturing end-to-end, and then send all of this data in AWS based on the machine learning, predict if something is wrong, or one of the process, for example, is wrong, and send notification automatically to this guy, that's, let's say, to the engineering guys, and he looking to this mobile application that this is really nice dashboard, let's say, and see if these equipment are healthy or unhealthy based on the data that AWS Monitor sends automatically. Also, there is another service is about Amazon Lookout for equipment. So it was quite similar. So there are kind of sensors, but these sensors are let's say, from customer sides. So you don't need to put the sensor, or AWS doesn't provide you sensor. You just use your own sensors in your home, and you collect probably all of this data from the sensor in your data center. And from your data center sends all the data in AWS, in cloud, based always in machine learning. Machine learning label all of this data using data sets and make prediction based on this data and inputs, and said, okay, this equipment has a defect, or this equipment is good, and all of this stuff. And another service was Amazon Panorama. This was really impressed me so much. So basically, this service are based on the video streaming, and you can put like videos in your environment. You can stream up to 10 cameras in the same time and send the data to Amazon Panorama. That is like a small device that's provided by AWS. A little bit expensive, to be honest, was like 4,000 right now. However, I think it's worth it. So send all of this data in Amazon Panorama, and from Amazon Panorama, these data are going to AWS to make prediction based on the capture images and streaming in real time. So especially in let's say, in this year that we challenge all of this difficulty, it will be very necessary. You can imagine if this kind of cameras was in a bigger supermarket and tell you if the line is big, or there is so many people in this supermarket, so you can avoid to go there, or probably other supply as well. And going out from machine learning, there is also Lambda function, a new feature that supports a container. This was pretty good, I think, as a feature. A lot of people I was excited about this new feature launched by AWS, because so basically now you can not only use the code and upload your code, but also if you have images, you can pull your images and use the images to Lambda function. And also for the price point of view, in Lambda function, you pay now for milliseconds. And this is really, really nice and I say really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of features, I mean, a lot of services and feature. Also, it was RDS anywhere, ECS anywhere, EKS anywhere. So allow you the possibility to create your infrastructure, to create Kubernetes, to create database in your own home, and everything is managed by AWS. So you can just get outpost, I guess, and based on this outpost, you can build Kubernetes in home. So I mean, there are so many services.
Yeah, totally. There was a lot that has been announced. I like that you focused a lot on those machine learning side of things too, because I think what's fun about those is you can take advantage of a lot of these products and stuff without actually having a machine learning background.
Yeah,
right?
definitely is really, really nice. So I mean, I don't have a background of machine learning, and when I really saw these services, so you definitely can use, and AWS take care of this and manage everything and give you in output the data that you really want to have.
Right.
So let's say I have a manufacturing company and producing a specific product, and I have people that have to monitor all the time if the product is quality, is really good or is not good. And it's going to be really expensive because a lot of people have to monitor this and to maintain in the same time. But if you have this kind of sensors and services, so basically everything is automatically sending all of this data in AWS and leveraging the machine learning from AWS and labeling this data from data sets that get an input, give you an output. Okay, this product is good, is healthy or not healthy. So I mean, depend on the case and depend on the what you are going to apply this.
I think with machine learning, it's like you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of industries that machine learning now really applies to. So I think we try to make sure that it's easy to, I wouldn't want to say approach, but easy to use for, certainly for any type of customers at any level of expertise.
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, I'm not skilled in machine learning. However, machine learning, I think, is one of the biggest, let's say, hosted or biggest topic, not in 2020, but it will be also in 2021. You know, we do a lot of things as human. We do a lot of automation. But you can imagine when machine learning is going much faster based on all of this computing and all of this stuff. So as a human, probably we will take 1 year to make prediction, and machine learning in just 1 minute. This is really incredible. I mean, and machine learning can be applied to everywhere. What I understand also from re:Event, it was some session about health or something like that. I'm not really expert on this campus. However, it was really big progress to predict, let's say, some kind of issue with body and all of this stuff. So we are really making progress, and machine learning is really a nice approach to make prediction much faster than human do.
If you could see if you could design a brand new machine learning service, what would you want it to be able to do? What would it analyze?
I would like definitely to analyze a lot of environment in real time, in streaming, so we can prevent a lot of issues, like in the bigger in the places that are so many people, and I can say, if you want to manage by human all of these biggest plays, will take a lot of time. But if you put like this machine learning in place, it will automatically do much faster and predict much faster.
Totally. What about you, Young? Any things that we need machine learning for?
I mean, it's already kind of heading that way. I feel like a lot of things Zamira already mentioned, like real time, things on the edge, sort of is like the next step. I feel like, being able to do all these computer vision stuff on the edge, like on location, and then have that be inferenced, very quickly. Applications are different depending on, what problems you're trying to solve, obviously, but that's sort of the things I'm looking for. And looks like we lost Taz for about a few seconds.
Yeah.
But just to add to what you were saying, Zamira, machine learning's made a pretty big progress on some of the things that are occurring with the services that are coming out.
It's
especially
a lot of campus. I mean, in health, in industries, so a lot can be used machine learning.
Yeah, I mean, it's an indication when there's a new machine learning specific keynote for the first time. So I mean, I certainly learned a lot, and there's just so many stuff that are coming out as part of reInvent, much faster than any of us could really catch, really. But it's glad to hear that you seem like you're having a very good reInvent so far. A little different than usual, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think this year was completely different. We used to be at Las Vegas for the event, but this year, so this problem, I would say, challenged a lot of people and companies. So, but it's okay. So I mean, it was really well organized, and a lot of sessions from reInvent, a lot of keynotes, and I'm excited also to watch tomorrow the keynote about Werner Vogels. Let's see if he will announce some new features or new services. So let's hope.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely one more keynote to go. I'm excited to find out more stuff as well. Also wanted to kind of ask you about the APN Ambassador program a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So APN Ambassador, I'm really excited to be part of APN Ambassador. I joined APN Ambassador this year, in beginning of this year, and I was super excited to be part of this, as I'm doing a lot of let's say speaking in some conferences, also writing blogs, and in the same time organizing a lot of events here in the Netherlands. Lastly, we organized also AWS community here in Netherlands when we had the keynote. Werner Vogels was super nice events when we had a lot of sessions. And doing all of these stuff together with organizing events, writing blogs, also speaking in some conferences. So I mean, it was really a nice idea, a good idea also to be part of this APN ambassadors when you get all the information or latest information from AWS and you apply these solutions or this new information to the customers. So definitely, I really enjoyed being part of APN Ambassador this year, and also it will give you the possibility to share the knowledge and also share the experience with other fellows and other ambassadors around the Europe and around the globe. Even they are part of other partners, but when you are APN ambassador and you are a one family, you know that basically you are from different companies, but so we really work strongly together and we share everything that we need to know. So in case we have any issue, we just ask the people and they are really able to answer you, even you are not part of their company or they are not part of your company. And also when you hear all of these issues and get the experience from other people, you're going to apply to your company. And this is what really I have done during this year. I leveraged all the experience that I get from APN Ambassador, and I try to apply all of these to my customers.
Yeah, that's really great that I love that idea of the community. You know, even though you may be from competitors in some way, you know, you're still also, you know, friendly with each other.
Yeah, and we're all engineers, you know, so even we are working in different companies and we're working in different partners. In the end, we're all engineers and we just are there to share the technology, to share some ideas and to bring something together that can be useful for the customers. So I would say it's not really a real concurrence or something that the people see like, well, you are not part of my company, but definitely it is really positive environment when you can learn something and you can share also something from your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I think is really cool about all that is like as far as like sharing your experience, you personally have a blog, right?
Yeah.
Where you share.
So I don't have my personal, however, I share a lot of blogs in Mobiquity website. Mm-hmm. And then I share also in Medium that everyone can be able to read it and to have. So I would really love to have feedback based on these blogs, and all of these are related to AWS services and the approach and solution that I have done for the customers in general. So really are I would say a blueprint or templates that I have done at Mobiquity. So we really are doing cool stuff and we're doing really, really nice things, especially leveraging the AWS services and applying all of these solutions to our biggest finance customers. And as I said, we're really focusing on finance services. So not only building the product for them, but also hosting and designing and implementing the infrastructure on top of AWS for our customers.
Absolutely. You know, it seems like you guys do the whole thing, you know, from start to finish, which is, I think, really great. And would you say that there are any like unique challenges with the finance industry that maybe other industries don't have to worry about?
You know, any industries has different challenges. So working with finance, working with biggest bank and enterprise bank in general is always a challenge about security. So they have really critical data, and our customers in general are really, let's say, focused on security, and they are worried about their data, if the data are enough secure in AWS or is high availability there, and all of this stuff. So I think AWS also from other side offer really nice services that cover all the security parts. So sometimes one of the biggest challenges that really I faced working with finance companies is they not easily going 100% to clouds. So they still are leveraging their on-premises services integrated with cloud, and it's like a hybrid solution in general.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we see that with a lot of people. It's sometimes hard up front to make that full jump, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the? Yeah.
It will take some time. Also, I work with enterprise companies, and I mean, there is a lot of bureaucracy inside of these biggest banking and companies. So just to do something or to apply a new solution, it will take some time, because there are dependency between the teams, and sometimes only to be approved by different teams will take some time. But in general, so I mean, in the end, we really with them with best practices using well-architected framework. That is one of the services that I really love from AWS, that makes sure that the whole solution is high availability, is secure enough, and make sure that all the practices are applied there. So basically, these services doesn't really change your actual solution, but these services allow you, enables you, and tell you that what you have done and what you have to change in the way that you can make really well designed and well and to be secure enough the solution in. And I applied well architected in some of our customers at Mobiquity.
Awesome. So one thing that a lot of people ask us is, if they're not necessarily, maybe they're new to cloud or in kind of those beginning stages, how did you get into AWS cloud? And on top of that, how do you stay up to date with all of the changes?
Yeah, really, this is a really nice question. So I joined, I think, for the first time, AWS cloud in general, I heard for the first time like 10 years ago. Okay. And I started using clouds probably for the first time 7 years ago. And I just developed myself using AWS all the time. Mm-hmm. So like 10 years ago, or probably a lot of years ago, was pretty easy to know everything, because, AWS had only some services and some features, but not like today. So I remember 7 years ago when I went through the AWS console, was only S3 bucket, EC2 instance, and some other basic service. And you can remember all of them, because they are really, let's say, computing service in general. They're really related to each other. But now, if I'm going in AWS console, I see every day new feature and new services. It's really, I mean, AWS really offer huge possibility and huge solution and service and feature, and sometimes it's really difficult to follow all of them. However, I will try just through the AWS documentation, using also, or my role as APN ambassador is to make all the updates and to get all the updates from the services that are launched and services also. So it's today it's difficult, but if you really work hard, I mean, you can be updated in all the new features and new technologies that AWS provide and offers.
Totally.
I am part also of with AWS Community Hero, and also part of AWS user groups and APN ambassadors. So I leverage all of these three inputs to get all the information and also get experiences from other people and share my experience as well.
Yeah, totally. It's so hard to keep up with everything on your own. I think that community is a great call out.
Yeah.
And for people that aren't, APN ambassadors or, maybe haven't received that designation, there's still plenty of places like user groups where you don't necessarily have to be an official ambassador or anything like that to join. You can just come in and learn from a community.
Yeah. So I mean, to be part of APN ambassador, definitely. I didn't really manage myself that I'm going to be an APN ambassador. I really didn't plan to do that. I was doing this for more than 6 years, organizing user groups, organizing events, and writing blogs. I really love it to do these things. And when you really love to do something and you share your passions, so I think everything comes up. And I will suggest all the people that want to be an APN ambassadors, first of all, they need to love what they do. That is very, very important. And if they can practice as much as they can, create new solutions, new blueprint, and share this blueprint with other people's, maybe if they share the experience and no one else shared the same experience. So I mean, all of us had different experience, and it would be really nice if we share our experience and we can learn from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we just come close to wrapping things up, for people who want to learn more about you or learn about Mobiquity, where would they go to do that?
We have a website, our website at Mobiquity. I can share in this mobiquity.com.
Okay, awesome. And we'll put that in the chat link in Twitch for people to click on.
Okay.
Yeah, and what about you specifically?
Yeah, so basically we have our website, our official website, mobiquity.com. When we share the blogs there, when we share, we have also all the partners there, what we do as a company. So you can find information about our digital transformation, how we greet our customers and the product that we build for our customers. And also you can find a lot of use cases and blogs in Mobiquity website.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for folks that are watching, definitely go check out that website. There are a ton of good use cases there. And also, I'd say go check out Zamira's Medium blog as well. I think that's a cool place where she's giving some updates as well.
Yeah,
kind of giving back to the community there. Yeah, definitely. Well,
thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for hopping on. And so we're going to go to a quick break while we reset and get ready for the next partner. But again, super appreciate Zamira jumping on. Thanks for all the great work you do, both with Mobiquity and as an APN ambassador. And so we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much, guys. It was really nice. I really enjoyed this live chat and enjoy the rest of the session.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, you.
Zamira.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Okay, so Just bear with us. Okay, we're good.
And we're back. Take it away again, Taz.
Great. Thank you to our producer, AM, behind the scenes, getting this all set up for us. Again, for those of you just joining, we are Howdy Partner, and we get to chat here on Twitch with some of our favorite partners and hear about the cool things that they've been doing. If you missed the first half, definitely go back and watch the video on that. We had a great chat with Zamira from Mobiquity. And then for the second half of the episode today, we're here with NLX. And I'll turn it to you all to introduce yourselves real quick.
Awesome. Thank you, Taz. Hi, everyone. Andrei Papancha. I'm CEO and co-founder of NLX. Happy to be back on Howdy Partner. And I'm joined by my co-founder, Vlad. Vlad, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. This is Vlad from NLX, co-founder as well, and head of engineering operations. Great to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And great to have you back on as well. For if people didn't catch that first episode that we did with you all back in, was that July? June?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Feels like yesterday, but
Right. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but definitely go check it out where we do a really good deep dive into their chatbot platform where we, see a little bit more of the user experience on that. Great episode. But yeah, thanks again for hopping on here. And so the first thing that I wanted to ask you all is, how is reInvent going for you?
Well, for one, I'd say it was different. We've been religiously attending the conferences in person until this year, so it was definitely that change. It was always like kind of an iconic end to every year. You go to reInvent, and then there's Christmas, and then New Year's, and then next year. Yeah. That being said, it was kind of fun having the event spread out over 2 weeks, at least on my part, just because it makes it a lot easier to kind of digest all the content as opposed to, being in person for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
But fun and insightful as always. Vlad?
Yeah.
Definitely. And also, I really, really, really love the new page and the new calendar features and all of that. Especially because it's much easier to organize it. I don't remember that feature being available in the past years, where you could just easily integrate with Google Calendar and add it to your calendar, invite people and whatnot. Honestly, even in the coming years, I hope that you guys do this more often, where there's some virtual sessions, right? Even if some of them are, let's say, in person, right in Vegas. But I really like the sessions that are online.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be great to, have a strong virtual presence, even if we do get back to meeting in person. I know one of the highlights was definitely, sitting down with customers and partners and everything, getting to know them in person. I remember, I guess it was about a year ago, being up in Paris Baguette, hanging out with the two of you there and chatting about NLX. And I think that was the first time that we'd been introduced to each other. And so definitely good times, and hopefully we can get back to it. But as far as this year's reInvent goes, were there any big standout announcements or anything like that you thought were pretty cool?
Quite a few, at least on my end, or I guess fairly relevant to NLX. We really enjoyed the Amazon Connect announcements. Being an official Amazon Connect partner, there were quite a few meaningful announcements at this reInvent. At least 2 of which being, one of them, I think they released this new biometric authentication feature called Voice ID. Pretty cool. Customer profiles, like being able to sort of consolidate a bunch of information for a given customer and kind of use that as part of the overall Amazon Connect sort of experience, workflows, and so on. And then also, there was another one.
I think it's the workflow thing where you can create tasks for the agents.
Right.
Contact flows, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one, especially because we've seen some customers ask for, let's say, Zendesk integrations for tickets, right? When a call is handled successfully, or when it's not handled successfully, you go to the agent and then create a task in Zendesk, whether it's for, let's say, looking at it later if it wasn't fixed, or just for tracking purposes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. And we have a call out here from Alex, Connect Wisdom there or something. Yeah. So yeah, definitely some great Connect things. And that, I think that plays along well with what you all do, which I guess we didn't really explain so much for this episode. But so what is it that NLX specializes in?
Good question. And sorry, dear viewers, for not having addressed that at the beginning. But we specialize first and foremost in building conversational experiences, or conversational AI-powered experiences. In essence, automated conversations that are sort of integrated into all kinds of different channels. They're personalized. They scale with demand. And you can think of this from anywhere from, I guess, chatbots, colloquially speaking, all the way to voice, such as smart IVR assistants, smart home assistants as well. And really, voice has been an emerging theme in terms of what our customers sort of request from us. So as part of that, we actually just this past Friday, we officially announced our latest product called Voice Compass. It's a pretty unique voice experience that is running essentially on top of AWS exclusively, as well as Amazon Connect and a series of other services. Have a demo at some point if.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to jump in and check that out. I put a link in chat to the website there, but we also have a question for you all from Alex. It says you guys have bots for flows too, right?
Yes. So in essence, to kind of put in perspective, historically speaking, we started off with one product called NLX Studio. And it's a one-stop shop platform for building and managing conversational AI-powered applications, regardless of channel, and giving you the ability to integrate them into all kinds of systems and so on and so forth. And as soon as Amazon Connect released, we jumped on and started integrating with it, and we almost provide an abstraction layer on top of, I guess, what you'd call traditional like NLP engines, like Amazon Lex and even Amazon Alexa. That's both a channel and an NLP engine. We sort of augment those and make it a lot easier to build applications for these channels. For those of the viewers who are not familiar with what Amazon Connect does, it provides a programmatic contact center. It's a really cool service from AWS. You can really stand up call centers in a matter of minutes. And then it integrates with Amazon Lex, the chatbot NLP service from AWS. And then NLX comes in with the Studio platform and kind of integrates everything and allows you to visually build these conversational flows without programming. Check it out. You can get it for free on the AWS Marketplace if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely go check that out. And I like what Alex is saying here. It would be nice to one day have like a chat bot that you talk to create the new chat bots. I think that'd be kind of neat. Is that kind of what you were saying, Alex? But yeah, it'd be really cool to do something like that.
Would love to get the prototype up and running. Can't say we haven't dreamed about something like that, so it's only fitting that we try.
Yeah, absolutely. At the very least, prototype it, right?
Pretty much.
And then he's like, yeah, just automate the whole thing once you build your contact center data. And so yeah, I think that's huge. The more you can automate, I think, the better in that space. And so you mentioned NLX Studio, which is kind of your original product. Again, check it out on Marketplace to start building out those conversational AIs. But what is Voice Compass, and how is that different?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And really, for all it's worth, we constantly push ourselves to evolve our product offering and sort of innovate on behalf of our customers as much as possible. And during the last re:Invent, actually, there was an Amazon Connect partner event that we were invited to, and we tasked ourselves with the challenge of doing something different or doing something that stands out. And we essentially had a concept, thought it through, tried it out, it worked, and then a year later, I guess we formally announced Voice Compass. We have a bunch of production customers in place as well. And really what Voice Compass is, it's a purpose-built application on top of our NLX Studio platform, so kind of eating our own dog food. And to a certain extent, seeing what's special about it, you kind of have to see it or experience it to fully appreciate it. Not necessarily our words, just the different people who tried it out. But it kind of provides this multimodal experience, best of both worlds between voice automation and sort of doing additional things through a visual channel as well. So imagine like calling in to maybe upgrade the seat for your flight, and instead of, and let's say you're greeted like, hey Taz, how's it going? I see you have a flight coming up this afternoon to San Francisco. Is this what you're calling about? And then you say yes, and then the assistant might ask you, okay, so how can I help you about this? And then you say, I want to upgrade my seat to business class. In this scenario, in 99% of the use cases, you'll end up to a human being. Why? Because, well, voice is just not the right channel to fully transact that. Imagine like having to select the seat over voice, right? You have to imagine where a seat, 15E or C or D might be at, if it's aisle or window, right? So it's just not the right experience.
Right.
And that's kind of where Voice Compass introduces a little bit of a paradigm shift, where rather than just accepting that those kind of calls have to go to a human agent, instead, it will tell you, no problem, Taz, I can help you with that. I just texted you a link to help you with your seat change. Please put your phone on speaker so I can guide you. So then you're switching over, you get the SMS, you click the link, and then you get, for the rest of the experience, while you're on the website or the mobile app of, let's say, the airline in this case, you're getting this voice guidance throughout the experience, just like a human would provide, with additional context and just paced to your pace.
Yeah, that's huge, because like you said, I can just imagine trying to pick a seat. That's just a funny thought. Yeah, I'm a big fan of 42B on the on 747s, but if we're on a different one, we got to get a different seat number. So I think that's pretty cool. It's funny. I was on a call just yesterday where it started off with some automated voice. Asked me a couple of options, but then very quickly just fell apart. Right? Like either the options didn't quite fit what I was looking for, or I think even more so, and it I think aligns with what you're talking about, is it's something that like I was trying to figure out how to use their website better. Mm-hmm. And at one point, I kid you not, the agent on the other side said, "Oh, I actually have basically a Q&A flow chart, and this is what it tells me." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "So you've got the entire process documented, like right here, but like we still had to connect to a person," which is, I didn't mind. He was a nice guy, and it was good to talk to, but like it seems like his time could have been spent doing something more beneficial if we already had a flow chart.
Yep.
There.
Yep. Because it's really about using humans for what humans are best at, right? Which is using their cognitive power to deal with complex tasks. Computers can deal with let's call them the low-hanging fruit, or at the very least routine tasks, right? Things that are over and over again, that's the same process. There's no reason for a human to be in there, except for maybe providing some additional, context, which we think we're on track for resolving using Voice Compass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe this might be related, because we have a question here. If you guys are working on any kind of AI-powered predictive routing, perhaps in the future.
That's a great question. Yeah, we're definitely tinkering with that. We've heard customer inquiries about that as well. We're taking an approach where we start off with the first version, and we'll let data inform how those models will come into play as applicable. But yeah, it's definitely, I think, it will feed directly into predictive routing, and essentially just getting a good sense of the patterns of how customers interact with you, learning from those patterns, and then essentially recommending better ways of enabling customers to self-service moving forward. Because I think Voice Compass is all about self-service, just not only resolving the customer issue, but also showing them how to solve it in the future, so that next time they don't have to pick up the phone.
So Alex, again, thanks for the comments in chat here. Is asking, is there a way to actually provide, like with Voice Compass, give the agent information. So like, we talked about how, if, I'm talking, maybe we send a link to me, but how about if after I've interacted with the AI, we send something to the agent as well to help them out? Is that something that can be done? Awesome.
Great question. And really, there's a couple different aspects to Voice Compass and different ways you can interact with it while you're in we call it the Voice Compass journey. And one of those, let's say, functionality points or parts of the journey that you can sort of trigger is escalating the call to an agent, in which case we can essentially provide or sort of forward all the context that we collect to date, which is pretty straightforward also when the customers use Amazon Connect, because then we can immediately funnel that context into the Connect CCP dashboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you mentioned earlier that we comment, these guys are good ideas. Got some fans.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you could maybe even do a quick demo of Voice Compass. Is that something you're ready to do now?
Yeah, with the premise of demo's a demo, so let's see. Hopefully we don't bump into glitches, but
yeah, absolutely.
1 second, I'm just gonna pull up the screen share on my phone.
Okay, so we'll do it actually through your phone, so it's like the user experience then.
Correct. Yeah, I'm gonna be calling a real experience. It's a production grade sort of demo,
Awesome.
except it's a demo from I'm not going to be actually changing my flight, let's say.
Yeah.
Let me know when you can see my screen.
So we can see it on our side. I think now it's AM. Go ahead and switch over whenever you are ready for that. So the viewers at home can see it. But yeah, this is super cool. That we'll be able to, I'm excited to see it. What is the situation that this demo is demoing?
Actually, you and the viewers will have the chance to pick the route that we take. So I'm going to dial in and let the crowd drive.
Okay, good. Well, it looks like we have the demo up there. I can see it. So we'll give it a call. So in chat, get ready to participate.
Welcome to Voice Compass. Did you want to do a free demo today?
Yes.
Great. We have 4 demo journeys available. Manage flight, password reset, replace card, and school absence. Which would you like to try first? If you're not sure, just say start.
Start. We're going to take the full experience.
Perfect. I just texted you a link to our Voice Compass demo. Please put your phone on speaker so I can guide you.
So it starts off with the Smart IVR at the beginning, and then note how it said, I just texted you a link to help you with, or to take you through the self-service demo. Please put your phone on speaker so I can guide you. So now I'm going to hit the link, but notice how top left of the screen, we're still actively engaged in the call.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, let's get you set up for taking a demo journey. Tap Get Started.
So hit Get Started.
Wait, so did that talk just because it detected that you clicked the link?
But you can also try out Mia or Anna. Tap on the journey.
So now our sessions are synchronized.
Okay.
So the phone session is now synchronized to what we're seeing on the screen. This works both with websites, it works with mobile apps. And then also note how I'm talking and I'm stopping and I'm not being bothered with like, sorry, I didn't get that. Please try again. Tell me this, tell me that. Because it's paced for your pace as the user. And the reason why I wanted to take the longer route as opposed to picking a specific demo is because we support this in multiple languages and multiple personas. We actually use in part Amazon Polly for the different voices of the folks. So we introduced Mia recently. She speaks Australian English. So I'm just going to tap that so you can hear the voice.
Hi, I'm Mia.
Or Ana, who speaks in Spanish.
Hola, soy Ana.
So, and we have support for a lot of other languages as well, but I'll, 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 I'll kind of stick with Victor just for purposes of the demo.
Hi, it's Victor. Did you want to do a free demo today?
So I'll hit continue.
Let's pick a journey. When you're ready, scroll down and tap Start Journey.
So let's maybe pause for like 10, 15 seconds to see if anyone has a desired route. We can pick any one of these 4 demos.
Yeah,
So-
please let us know in the chat.
We have first comment. We want to replace a card.
Going once, going twice. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I see Alex's comments. There's all kinds of ways we can sort of secure the experiences and whatnot. That can almost be a session in itself, because part of our studio platform allows us to do these pretty, let's say, sophisticated like IVR workflows that integrate directly with Connect. But yeah, for the purposes of the demo, I'm just gonna then click replace card by popular demand.
Replace your card. First, which card are you looking to replace?
So let's say I'll pick the second one, 2323.
Okay, card ending in 2323. Why do you need to replace it?
So let's say it was damaged, unless someone else wants some other scenario. And by the way, at the end of this, we'll provide the link, or maybe Vlad can provide the link in the chat. You can experience the self-service demo at your own pace. It's free to try. So let's say our card is damaged.
Okay, let's get you a new card. Please enter the CVV code from the back of your card.
Okay, so I put the CVV code.
Thank you. Is the New York address on the screen still current?
Yes, it is.
Finally, how would you like to receive your card?
So let's say regular shipping.
Great. You just replaced your card. How would you rate your experience?
Hopefully it's a yay. Just gonna shame it.
You can try another demo, or you can end the experience. What would you like?
So we could try actually another demo, and another one that I would like to maybe showcase, since we're on this, is password reset, just because that's
Pick the voice
pretty.
you'd like to use.
Maybe we'll use Mia.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mia.
So let's
Password
say
reset.
password reset.
Reset your password.
So it's funny because this is literally the use case that I was talking about earlier. It was a password reset use case. So,
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, and it's so great because it's one of those use cases where if you call customer service anywhere right now, chances are you're going to talk to a person, almost 100%,
Yeah.
right? And by using Voice Compass, we can deflect this pretty routine task through an experience like this, while still providing, helpful guidance for the customer. Because it might be tempted for some to say, oh, well, password reset, it's easy, right? You just go to the website, a mobile app of whatever service, and you click there. But still, believe it or not, so many contact centers have password reset as one of the top 5 call reasons that you just kind of have to address it.
Well, there are just so many people who have differing levels of comfort, where I know some people who for whatever reason calling someone is the most comfortable thing for them. They prefer that to going to a website.
Yeah.
I know that my grandmother, for example, would be an example of that. She won't go to a website to figure it out. That's just never going to be what she does.
Oh,
The phone.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll hit continue here, and I can already see Alex is asking
I just texted you a 6-digit code to the phone number we have on file to your account. Please enter it on this screen.
So Alex is asking if there's an easy way for the customer to click through to get to an agent. And the answer is yes. It really depends on the experience and how the, let's say, our customer wants to put this forward to their users. But for instance, let's say I didn't get the code, so I can tap to get the code again.
Okay, I texted you the code again.
Now, if I click it again, it's going to send me the code again. But what we've done for other customer implementations is if, let's say, the customer still didn't get the code the second time and they tap again, then it just escalates them to a human agent. So as part of the voice compass journey design, we take into account all the different exit points based on whatever the customer journey is intended to be. So I'll click verify code for now.
Thank you. Now, please choose a new password.
So I'll pick a new password.
You need to pick a stronger password. Make sure to use at least 8 characters with at least 1 digit, 1 upper and 1 lowercase letter.
Right, so just a simple way of how augmenting this with the voice is actually pretty powerful. I can't tell you how many times I've watched someone go through this demo and input a password that doesn't comply with the requirements, and we all do it, right? So it's just such a nice way to augment these experiences and provide value to the customer.
Well, I just use "Hello World" 1 exclamation mark for every password I've ever had, and that usually meets the requirements.
I'm sure we'll scrub out that part of the audio.
A lot of people are using that password today.
A little bit of wit. Let's see. So just gonna hit reset password.
Great. You've just reset your password. How did you find this experience?
And hopefully we also found it pleasant. So I'm just gonna provide that feedback on behalf of anyone.
Thank you for your feedback. You can try another demo or you can end the experience.
So at this point, let's say
what would you like?
We just end the experience.
Thanks again for trying out the voice compass experience.
I liked that it called out how long the experience took.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, we call that the journey summary, and we collect a series of analytics across the different journeys, and we're looking at exposing a customer-facing reporting and analytics dashboard early January, and where analytics like that will also be essentially surfaced to our customers, and it's important, right? Because then you get to see the performance of a voice compass journey assistant against what might be the let's say human agent performance, and especially when you're comparing it for routine tasks like this, what you expect and what generally happens is that voice compass is going to be a couple minutes at the very least faster than the human agent, just because you skip the nitty-gritties, the niceties and all that stuff. And yeah,
I was just gonna ask the question: do you have reports for the bot itself too?
Yes, we do, and that's part of the NLX Studio platform itself. We provide a series of analytics, including let's say a conversation history, so you can see what customers are calling about, what's that, the different phrases that they might say during the IVR experience, and also essentially we're working on some pretty cool visualizations for voice compass itself, so you can visualize the different journeys that people take, there's some, again, really cool visualizations coming forward. That's I'll stop short of that, but definitely we based on experience that we've had in practice for the past couple of years, we learned that success of these types of conversational applications is deeply rooted in the types of analytics you collect and surface, and because they're never going to be perfect, and they're never going to be perfect from day one. And it's important to keep iterating, and the best way to iterate is to have the data to see how people use them, so you know how to improve them.
So when are you guys going to release a conversational chatbot that can just be my best friend?
Soon enough. Send us a checklist of emotional support and other things that you'd like from it, and
yeah. I'll call up Anna. I'll have to learn Spanish first, though, because I don't know Spanish very well.
A good opportunity to get a teacher. So
let's let Taz build the persona. Uh-oh. Yeah, I do need more friends, and so if I can automate that, then all the better. Yeah, no, this is super cool. One question I have is like, how do you guys come up with these ideas? It feels like you're always like coming out with new things, and it feels like you have the answer to like every question that we get in chat. Like the answer is like, yeah, of course we do that. How do you guys do that?
There's multiple ways I can answer this, and Vlad, maybe you have some too. Really, we, I guess, take pride in being different and always strive to be different. And we, probably some of our team members are watching this and they're gonna slap my hand afterwards. But we never say no to customer projects, because we truly believe in the fact that you don't tell the customer how, like, essentially we don't want to constrain the customer on what's possible. We want them to tell us what their ideal goal is, and then we walk backwards from that. So oftentimes allowing the customers to dream then enable us to sort of take that and essentially amplify it and come up with new solutions and services. I'd say pretty much how AWS has been a source of inspiration for us in that regards, right? It's always so many features are just released based on customer demand, and it works, right? Because if customers want something or they have a problem, and then you specifically address their problem, then inherently your products and features will be successful. So Voice Compass was a mix of that, and then
just trying to do something cool to show
the
mix, I guess.
Yeah, totally. So one question that I had about Voice Compass is, from a customer perspective, what parts of the experience do you provide? Do you from the website itself? Is that something that you all do, or is that something I can, if I want to build my own website, can I integrate it?
Great question. First and foremost, we have tool sets, and they're fairly self-service and programming free for building all of the voice experience. So that's part of the core IP and innovation that we provide. And then the way you integrate Voice Compass into, let's say, a digital asset, or sometimes even a physical device, because it's pretty agnostic of what you integrate in. It could be, you could synchronize the audio from the phone to, let's say, an IoT device. And we actually support we have support for Voice Compass outside of just the phone channel, and any kind of like bidirectional audio, any kind of device that has a bidirectional audio channel can integrate and essentially support the Voice Compass interaction. So hint, smart home devices like Alexa will get this soon. But essentially, if you don't have your own website, or sometimes what happens is, this actually came up in a customer conversation. They were wondering, if they already have like a flow for something, why would we elect to redesign it sometimes? Or when should they decide if they should use their existing website, and when should they create a new one? And the short answer was, and Password Reset is a good example, like sometimes the way you're solving things right now is just not the best way. So then that process or flow is just ripe for redesign or redefinition. Now, by the nature of working with all kinds of enterprise customers, some of them either don't have the budget or don't have people on staff to kind of build these processes if they don't already exist, because some customers are trying to solve certain flows for the first time. Others already have, let's take a bank, for example, they'll have a car replacement flow, they'll have a disputes flow, and most likely they'll want to reuse their assets. So for some customers, we have a professional services partner that essentially builds these use cases, these journeys for them, and integrates Voice Compass into them. And then if you have your own website, and actually we have a couple customers and who already took this route. We have a very easy to integrate SDK. it's almost like an analytics SDK or instrumentation for all it's worth. And what you do with it is you inform, you send events and you inform the voice compass service wherever the user is in the flow or in the process. And that then, just with providing a unique identifier and or maybe some additional context points, then voice compass will know what to say next and or trigger actions, things like that. So there is a self-service sort of implemented your own version, and we're looking to make that more permanent in this coming quarter.
Awesome. Well, that's super cool. I really love the just like every time I feel like I jump on a call with you, you got something new, and it's something that's just like it's just cool, It's like cool stuff, and it doesn't take any amount of like explaining for me to understand the use case, right? Like this, it just makes sense. It's obvious. Like, yeah, of course this would be something that would be useful. So I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
So changing gears a little bit, I'm curious. This was something we asked earlier on. A lot of what we've talked about has been machine learning, and there were a lot of machine learning related announcements this year. If AWS were to release another like managed ML service, what would you want it to be?
That's a pretty good question. Also, because in part, you guys enhanced SageMaker this year enough to address some of our wishes.
Do you want to talk about that? Like, what were some of the enhancements that you saw come through that you were looking for?
Vlad, maybe you want to take this.
Yeah, I can touch on that. So I guess part of our conversational platform, we also collect a lot of the conversational data, and then the customer can choose what they want to collect and what not. But the main piece that we're interested in is unknown phrases, right? Like, let's say you put out a chatbot or an IVR bot, and you have a lot of traffic, right? Obviously, you have certain intents that they're going to trigger, but a lot of the traffic won't match anything, right? So the question that we often get is, okay, if I put all of my traffic through your platform, will it collect all of the unknown data and will it do something with it, right? And what we found out is that it's easier to just categorize it and kind of like put it in buckets, right? Where it's like, okay, this bubble says that X amount of people wanted to replace their card, and then this bubble says whatever else. Yeah. So we found out that it's easier to just do that and not do the automated training, right? So because it's a bit iffy with that. It requires a lot of, let's say, data specifically to the domain, whereas the one where you just cluster it to see if the meaning is the same, it's fairly straightforward. So part of the SageMaker announcements were actually very exciting, just because currently we use SageMaker and then we use a bunch of Lambda functions to orchestrate all of this, because it's continuously analyzing the data in production, depending on the customer. If there's a high volume, it aggregates it every hour. If it's like a lower volume, every day. So it's basically all of the announcements, including Data Wrangler, I think it's called, helps us essentially write less code, specifically for querying customer data security, and then bringing that into SageMaker. And then remind me, what was the other SageMaker? It was in SageMaker Studio. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to pull it up right now, because it has been a full 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of all the announcements, that's for sure. Almost got it. I'm looking at it.
Who's faster?
Oh, the pipeline, yes.
Okay, yeah.
We orchestrate things with step functions, but it looks like this integrates nicely with Data Wrangler and with the SageMaker training jobs. So that obviously enables us to write even less code, specifically for doing all the hyperparameter tuning and all of these jobs. So that's really exciting, because we can essentially just focus on the machine learning and then let SageMaker orchestrate all of the data querying, and then all of those pipelines.
Right, because I mean, like DevOps is never like DevOps is essential and necessary, but it's never where anything actually happens, right? It just enables the some other process to work properly.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like people don't want to spend their time on DevOps, like unfortunately, like because that's not what generates revenue. It's not what's doing data analysis. It's not doing anything, but it's so necessary.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And oftentimes people think about DevOps, but they think strictly about automating infrastructure and code, but they don't think too much about the fact that data science is very much just like fully suitable for automation in that regards as well, right? Like making sure new data comes in, you run the model, run the test, assess it, deploy it, and just go through that cycle. Automate as much as possible, because otherwise it's such a painful process.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely check that out. I put a link in chat to the SageMaker pipelines for folks to read up on that if they're interested. But
I just got I have an idea of what I'd like to see next or more of.
Yeah.
As many new languages for Amazon Lex as possible. We have a relatively international audience, and we're getting more and more customers from who have like a let's say international footprint and sometimes even global footprint, and they require all kinds of different languages. And yeah, I was excited. We were all excited to see the number of new languages that Lex added just in the past few months. Spanish, Portuguese, French, and so on. But yeah, maybe tuning that up and adding some additional ones, and also seeing more poly voices that have the neural text-to-speech enabled, and the conversational style goes a long way, because essentially we're a direct consumer and of that, and we output it through our personas and the different voices. And some voices just sound amazing, like Matthew. And if we can get more Matthews and personas in different languages and genders and things like that, would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, there are areas where people will speak multiple languages, and so they may have passable English or passable French, but like, how much better of an experience for those folks would it be to actually have it in their native language? You know, it's not having to go through maybe a secondary.
Yeah.
So.
And really, that's kind of what we did with the Voice Compass demo. For those of you who will try it out, you can see that you know, you can switch to Ana speaking Spanish, and you'll still go through the exact same experience and just work seamlessly because we internationalized the technology. And even though you're reading things in English, or like the rest of the experiences in English, and I'm speaking here probably for the bilingual speakers in the US, for instance, it's still useful to see things. Like you might see the website still in English, but then getting that additional, let's say, spoken talk track that might be in a different language that you're more comfortable with is still pretty powerful, even if you're working with a, I guess, bilingual experience. So yeah, we are seeing a more and more increased demand for things like that.
Yeah, that's a great call out, and I'm sure that the folks on those teams are very aware of the demand, and so it'll be really interesting to see what new languages roll out in the next you know, in the fullness of time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep. Cool. And so was there anything else that you guys would like to tell the viewers or talk about at this point?
Well, for one, we're super thrilled for having been launch partners of the AWS Travel and Hospitality competency.
Fantastic. Yeah. Let's talk about that. What is that?
Yeah, boom, to dump it on you. Yeah, we've had the pleasure for the past 1 to 1.5 years to work with the travel and hospitality team at AWS. Worked with some awesome companies and all kinds of like exciting projects. Obviously, the current times impacted the industry in ways that nobody would have been able to place bets on. But the cool thing is technology, not just ours, but across can really be a driver for innovation and more efficiency. And so for all it's worth, the current year has exposed inefficiency across the board, and being faced with that challenge of solving those problems and helping deflect as much of the issues that arise from them is quite compelling. So we took early steps once the pandemic hit earlier this year, and we put out offerings, and we worked with various different companies to kind of like help them like deflect unwanted traffic and sort of like handle the demand, and continue to work with various hospitality companies and travel companies and so on. And we found out from our partners at the travel and hospitality vertical at AWS that they were working on this competency. So we were very excited and essentially worked through all the requirements. And yeah, officially, I think it was December 3rd when the competency was announced. There were 27 companies, and we were one of them. And we're very, very proud of the accomplishment, and very much excited to essentially for what's to come now, right? Because so many more companies are now realizing they need to innovate more and sort of switch over to cloud and solutions like ours and others. And we were excited at the opportunity of being part of that overall bounce back solution for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a huge accomplishment to be able to be a launch partner of a competency. Something that I talk to partners about frequently is, the AWS partner network is quite large. Lots and lots of partners. But the fact that if you go to I just posted the link in chat where you can find a partner, there are, what was it? I think 27 partners. Mm-hmm. I think is where we're at right now. And yeah, that's such a short list down from tens of thousands, and it's not an easy process.
Can attest to that.
Yeah. For folks that maybe aren't familiar with the competency process, what does that look like for you all?
Yeah. So for one, and Vlad, please fill in if I miss anything. But for one, you obviously have to have some sort of proven track record of doing business in the specific vertical that the competency sort of targets. You need some customer case studies and some, customer references, and then have all kinds of, let's say, materials and content that show your, let's say, showcase your AWS partnership and your usage of AWS. For us, it was, sort of showcasing all kinds of travel and hospitality solutions that thankfully we've worked on quite a few in partnership with AWS. So we have some of those assets already available. And I think the other big one would be to reach the advanced tier technology partner or consulting partner. And that was also something that we already kind of had in the works and we were working towards. So we kind of hit the eligibility and for both the competency and the advanced tier almost at the same time.
That's huge.
It was a double celebration at the time. But
I bet. And again, for folks that are listening that aren't familiar with that process, it is getting up to the advanced tier, not easy. Getting competency partner also not easy. There's a lot of work to do. And so really big congrats to you all for doing that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what do you think is next for you all?
Well, definitely super excited for 2021 to kick off. We kind of launched Voice Compass last Friday, so obviously we don't expect a crazy amount of work through the end of the year just because everyone's exhausted, but essentially we're looking to hit strong into the market with Voice Compass. We already have a bunch of exciting customer opportunities and interested parties and whatnot. And then really just expanding our conversational AI footprint. We're going to be adding support for a lot of different things within our NLX Studio platform. One of the hints is support for a lot of different languages. We're working on some cool engineering challenges for that. And frankly, outside of that, just to be able to travel again. I feel for everyone who's been impacted by this. I feel for the industry quite a bit, the travel and hospitality industry. And I know some have a grim outlook on what the industry might look like, but frankly, I think I speak for a lot of people that the moment it's safe to do so, everyone will be going to an island or to another country or somewhere. There's no way. So just super excited to really take advantage of the luxury of travel. You don't realize how great that is until it's sort of taken away from you. So
I think that kind of leads into the most important question maybe we've had all episode, which is what's your all's preferred vacation type? If like we're thinking like, go to a big city, beaches, skiing, like where's your top location?
Vlad.
I'd say skiing for me.
Skiing?
Anywhere remote, where it's like proper mountain, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably biased towards that too. Yes, we grew up. We're brothers, by the way, for those viewers who didn't pick up on that yet. But essentially, we grew up with a mountain in our backyard, and we've been skiing ever since. And there's nothing like waking up in the morning and seeing like a little snowstorm and being ready to hit the mountain. And then relax in the evening, right? It gets dark early, so then you get to enjoy like whatever, warm drinks and maybe like a hot tub if you're lucky. But it's fun.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I did not grow up with snow mountains in my backyard. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, so definitely didn't. I have been skiing a few times. Wouldn't say that I'm particularly talented at it. But it is a good time. I do like that hot tub idea. The winter hot tub idea sounds quite nice.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm definitely I like the forest. Like I like mountains, but maybe not like skiing mountains, but just like to go hike. Like the Appalachian Mountains are just. I think that's where like once things go, like I want to fly out, find a cabin somewhere there, and just relax. What about
right now?
Right? What about Young?
I'm a little different, I guess. None of which hasn't mentioned, but I guess I do like the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Seattle, so I get all the mountains and the forest. If I really wanted to, because I snowboard. Nothing against skiing or anything, but I mean. It's easy for me to access mountains.
Yeah.
To the east.
Probably go to
go to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would rather do something I don't really do, which we don't have much of here, as the beach. Just relax. Maybe water sports.
Yeah.
If I want to get adventurous.
Listen, beach is up there too. Like, and I wouldn't. Like.
Well, we have multiple seasons, and you got to take a vacation in each of them, right?
Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to it, I would like to do something I don't really get too much access to, because people like to have what they don't have. Simply put.
Well,
absolutely. So I think that's definitely looking forward to some more vacations, but also looking forward to the travel industry and the work that you guys are doing there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
More
absolutely. West Seattle, top beach. Hot take: West Seattle has the best beaches.
I don't know about that, but So they have a beach. It's called the beach.
Yeah.
You have to go there to really determine if it really is a beach or not. But
yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. Well, I think that that just about does it for this episode. Alex wants you guys back once you've got a beta to test. And so, Alex, definitely, I don't remember if you were watching back at the beginning or not, but definitely find the episode previously where they did a deep dive into their NLX studio. We'll definitely be happy to bring them back in the new year once people are not all teched out from reInvent, and we'll do some deep dive into the technology behind all of it.
Sounds like
Otherwise, what's the best way for people to learn more or connect with you all?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking that. Either going to VoiceCompass, NLX.ai or VoiceCompass.ai. Vlad, maybe you can type it in the Twitch chat. You can find VoiceCompass through NLX.ai because that's the main corporate website. But then if you want to get specifically VoiceCompass, just VoiceCompass.ai. Or just shoot us an email at contact@nlx.ai, and we'll get back to you promptly.
Awesome.
Or go to the AWS Marketplace and get yourself some NLX Studio. Although VoiceCompass is not available through the marketplace just yet, even though it's built on Studio, because we're working through a customer-facing sort of portal. So that will come in Q1.
Great. So yeah, we'll be definitely looking out for that, looking out for an announcement from you all about when we can get that, the VoiceCompass in marketplace as well. But yep, for everyone else, like if you want to get started today, go hit the marketplace offering and start playing around with it. It really is a great UI. It's nice how much it just makes things easy. And so you don't have to have a whole lot of understanding about chatbots or anything like that. You just kind of jump in, get going.
Yeah, so that was kind of the premise we built it on, right? That the technology is meant to make your life easier, not to make you work in a certain way or function a certain way. So VoiceCompass definitely aims to do that.
Totally. Well, cool. So we've reached the end of the episode, and as tradition dictates, we have to choose our sign-off, which is, see here, happy trails, giddy up. Y'all come back now.
Yeah. Also get all three.
Let's pick something else.
Happy
what
trail.
Did we do last time?
Giddy up. That's what we did last time.
Cool. So then
pick the one of the other two probably.
Happy trails. Well, and we'll have to chat, see if we can find. We need to go through the list and see who we've had on and see who can be the first to do all three sign-offs.
Fair enough.
There needs to be an APN badge for that. We'll have to put that in your email signature first. Yeah. Well, great. Again, thanks for everybody who was able to jump on. We've got another episode coming up this Wednesday as well. Same format where we're going to have a consulting and a technology partner. So definitely same place, same time this Wednesday. And we've got Docker for the consulting partner. So I heard that they are not consulting with the technology partner.
Oh, that's
technology. Sorry, I heard that they know something about containers, if I remember correctly. So you might want to check that out if they're an interest to you. So great. Well, with that, on the count of three, let's sign off with a happy trails. 1, 2, 3. Happy trails.
Happy trails.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks, NLX, as well as Mobiquity for jumping on earlier.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.